Hi, morning to all your viewers and yourself, basically. So if you look at it fundamentally, I don't think so there is any change basically which is happening in IT. Most of the large caps are going to still do around a single digit growth in the current year. I don't think that is going to change. Yes, the orders intake basically, or most of them have been pretty strong in the first two quarters. But let's see how it plays out basically, because fundamentally I don't see any change. And in their last quarter commentary also, there has been no change in outlook for 27. So at the moment, yes, it was oversold, and that's why I think valuations were good. So I think people have moved into that.
What about some of the banking stocks after Friday's rate cut? Do you see some more, movement for them on the upside for them, especially from the fact that if rates have been cut, there could be some pressure on the margins going forward?
But that would be temporary, basically. As you know, the reset happens first for the credit side, and then slowly the liability side gets reset. So I think the margin improvement is largely going to start happening. You're going to start seeing in the next two quarters. Even in this current quarter, after that 100 basis point, basically, most of the banks were able to maintain a positive or a flat kind of a number as far as NIMS is concerned. Now, going ahead, I think we are all watching, saying that how the credit growth happens. I think that is the key to here. If the credit growth comes back basically mildly also, and a 15% kind of a number, then I think the banks have more legs to go from here.
Okay. What do you make of the entire Keynes saga, Nischal? What's your take? And are these opportunities possibly to buy high quality manufacturing franchise, fast growing?
So after 3 years of bonhomie on the street, basically, people have started focusing on the balance sheet now. It's not that these kind of things are not happening in the last 2-3 years, but there was such madness, basically, people were just ignoring it. And I think now, as people focus on balance sheets and the market is going nowhere, I think every negative news which comes out, basically, market reacts disproportionately. And that's what is happening in some of the few companies, basically, which we have seen recently, where there has been some reports about some issues on the balance sheet side. But I think this is more to do with that they were all priced to perfection, and a slight negative news, basically everybody wants to exit the gate at the same time.
Okay. What about Keynes on? We talk about car distributors, and within that pack, Landmark Cars is one of the larger ones. Popular Vehicles not as large as a Landmark, but it's faced its set of headwinds post the IPO. Is it looking interesting at all? And with BYD partnership, new store openings, you feel that there is any scope for growth here?
Though I do not cover the stock basically, but I think Landmark has done well. I think what you have to also look at in the terms that in the last 2 or 3 quarters, the numbers were pretty down. Basically, Landmark is largely international brands or the super premium segment, basically. So I think it has impacted all of them. Whether it was the mid-size car or the super premium ones. But going ahead, I think in the next 1 or 2 quarters, passenger vehicles are supposed to do pretty well, especially in the current quarter and the next. So I think this could be a good opportunity to look at it.
Okay. All right. Nischal, will pause there. And what will
institutional investors expect to offload about almost 0.5% stake. But the big news maker all through the weekend, or for that matter, latter part of last week, also turned out to be Interglobe Aviation. Nischal, morning, wanted to get your sense in on how much correction you think has already happened in Interglobe, and how much more do you think could be impending, given that the stock has already fallen about 7% so far. Nischal, you'll have to unmute yourself.
Sorry. You're talking about Keynes?
I'm talking about Interglobe Aviation. The stock has already fallen 7%. One is wondering how much more, and if that how much more comes in, does it become a buy immediately?
I think Interglobe, I think it's going to take a bit more of knocking basically, because there are 2 or 3 things which are being told in the papers today. One is that they are already refunded 610 crores of tickets to the passengers. There is going to be definitely what I hear from the interviews and all, this is all public understanding which I have, is that there might be a penalty for all this, and definitely they have lost confidence of the flyers, passengers. So I think these all things are going to actually impact. Maybe in the short term, given that they have a 60% kind of a market share, you may not see much impact, but I think a longer term there is a definite impact on Interglobe. So if one has it, basically, I think it's a good time to actually take away some profits here.
Kunal, what's your sense on how much more can the stock fall? Indigo, that is?
They've posted. One, is it impressive, or is it just the rebound trade at play on the back of the GST benefits that have percolated through the system? And second, how would you play this theme? Would you play it through platform companies like a PV Fintech, or would you play it through one of the insurers?
So I think the jury is still out basically as far as whether it is only the GST benefit or really there is a rebound in the market. So we have to wait and see for the next quarter basically when the numbers come out. So I think let's wait for that. But my preference is basically the platform companies, though the valuations are pretty steep as far as platform companies are concerned, but they have a very distinct advantage over the general insurance company. So definitely I would prefer to a platform company.
Nischal, I was looking at some of the data which has come in for the month of November. FIs have been net sellers to the tune of $650 million in IT alone. And at the same time, you've seen IT companies, IT going up by nearly 15% in the last 1 month. So do you think it's the mutual funds and domestic institutions which are taking up the stake because they were underweight on IT for the longest time?
Yeah, that is what I think the most likely thought could be. But I'm not privy to any this thing. But I do agree with you that it was cheap, cheaply available, and people are shifting away from maybe partially banking and auto to IT.
Nischal, renewed vigor across the defense space, couple of orders as